Why are so many dogs suffering from health issues? Actress Katherine Heigl, who's helped save over 16,000 dogs through her foundation, says she's seeing more issues with dogs' joints, odors, and health than ever before. And after doing a ton of research, she feels there's one place we can look to support any dog's health: their food. So she decided to create something she could actually feel good about feeding her dogs. It's called Superfood Complete. Superfood Complete is made with over 30 of the healthiest ingredients on the planet, including several superfoods vital to your dog's health. Badlands Ranch also sponsors the Jason Debus Heigl Foundation, which has helped rescue thousands of dogs and place them in loving homes. Dogs across America are trying this food and experiencing amazing health benefits. Go to badlandsranch.com/save50 and order right now to get up to 50% off your regular price order with a 90-day money-back guarantee. If you want your dog to experience all these incredible things, go to badlandsranch.com/save50 today.
That's the sound of your current hype level at the gas pump. But brace yourself for something fuel-nominal, because Unleaded 88 is about to take the hype to a whole new level. Unleaded 88 is cheaper, cleaner, and greener than regular unleaded. Plus, it's homegrown, making Unleaded 88 the clear choice at the pump and totally worth the hype. So pump it up with Unleaded 88, brought to you by Iowa Corn.
The following podcast may contain discussions supported by science that may be considered dangerous to some listeners and conspiracy theorists. Discretion is advised.
The 3 Down Greencast is brought to you by Lucky Bastard Distillers, Saskatchewan's premier distillery, and by the Pile of Bones Brewing Company, brewed in the heart of Regina. Welcome to the 3 Down Greencast. You are listening to the internet's only Ask John Anything podcast.
Oh, we're so back!
I'm Joel Gasson with John Fraser, as usual. And yes, as this is the episode following the Riders' first bye week of the regular season, we will be doing, of course, Ask John Anything. As always, a great set of questions await John's future. Some he knows about, some he doesn't, as always. And, yeah. John, as I know, he is well lubricated and ready to go as well. So.
Yes, which is great. I had to voice the new radio commercials for my day job at Enns Toyota, and I'm like, you know what? I was just kind of sipping my gin as I was doing that to keep the voice like nice and loose. I've got ready to go in the glass not 1 but 2 beers, including one of them imported from the fine province of Ontario. So that's what we call this business a tease, Joel Gasson.
Mm-hmm. Before we get to that, though, before we get to everything that this episode stands for, we have the rare occasion of actual football to talk about.
Yes.
Ahead of Ask John Anything. Like, normally we came up with this concept because, well, I think the first time we debuted it was in the off season. We just wanted to do like mailbag without doing typical mailbag kind of thing, right?
Right. It was either that or COVID. I don't remember. Yeah. It was one of the two.
I mean, that was essentially an off season.
Yes.
And so at that point, it's kind of just evolved into the first bye week of the season we do it, and we tend to do one over the off season as well, just to fill some time every once in a while. And normally, the one heading off the first bye week, not usually a lot to talk about around here in terms of football, and that's kind of how it's evolved into this spot. This week a little different. First of all, we would be remiss if we did not come here for what you all want us to hear our opinions on, was of course our boy Sergio absolutely obliterating a 60-yard field goal last week.
It was so good. I went from 6 to midnight so quickly I tore a hole in my pants.
Mm-hmm.
And
initially we thought it was a 59-yarder, which was even nicer because that's what they were saying on the broadcast. But then I guess it was closer to the 60-yard line, so the stats guys gave him the full 60, which is now a Bomber franchise record and the second longest field goal in CFL history.
Which is crazy to think that, like, especially with the weather that these guys play through and everything, that there is a field goal out there that is longer. But yeah, Sergio already the only bright spot in this Bombers season so far. Yeah.
The other piece of news.
Yeah.
Little less.
You did come here for
probably the actual important news. Little less celebratory, especially if you're a Rider fan. They come back from the week off. They're practicing Sunday morning, late morning, early afternoon. Trevor Harris doesn't come out to the field. Still no Trevor Harris. Looks like Trevor Harris isn't going to play. Corey Mace talks to the media after practice and basically confirms that Trevor Harris is going on the 6-game injured list and will at least not be playing this week against the Toronto Argonauts, which that game may be today by the time you're listening to this, or it could have already happened. In that case, congratulations to whoever won that game.
Takes to follow.
Yes, we will talk, of course, about that Rider Argo game next week as we do post-game stuff more so than pre-game kind of talk around here, if you haven't noticed by now. I mean, there's only 7 of you listening, so I hope you would understand how this show works by now.
Yes.
And the interesting thing, the real interesting part, and I wrote about it on 3 Down Nation, was Corey Mace said that Trevor Harris, if you left it up to Trevor Harris, he would probably play. So to me, that suggests this is not like a serious MCL injury that's going to leave him out for the rest of the year. Because of the way the 6-game injury works now, there's really no reason not to put him on it if you think it's going to be at least more than a game, because you can pull anyone off. That basically just converts all the games they missed into 1-game injury listings, because now that whole thing now counts against the cap. If by chance he happens to miss all 6 games, whatever his per game salary was, not including the bonus they paid him at the start of the year, would have actually not counted towards the cap. So realistically, there's no reason to not put him on the 6, even if he only misses 2 or 3 games. But it's hard to know how long it will take, but it sounds relatively promising that we will see Trevor Harris again this year, as of course he gives the Riders their best chance to win. And with that in mind, because he gives them their best chance to win, you have to give Corey Mace all kinds of credit for saying, no, you're going to sit, because right now we have to make sure that you're better come, the fall and the winter, not so much early July.
Well, and you brought it up in your piece on 3 Down, that it's the Bizarro Cody Fajardo factor, right?
Yep.
Like, it's that exact injury that Fajardo played through with the giant brace, and I get it, Cody runs a little bit more than Trevor ever does, but it still led to essentially the downfall and subsequent revival of Cody Fajardo's career, and we don't want another downfall for a starting quarterback here in Saskatchewan. Plus, I mean, when you start 3-0, it gives you that wiggle room that you never want to lose. I'm not saying, it's okay if they lose, but it's much less severe if you were, say, 1-2 or even 2-1, right?
Or like your starting quarterback's injured and you're 0-4 per se. Yeah,
that's exactly it, right? So you now have a potential to see Shea Patterson against a good team, and you've put Shea Patterson in the best position to succeed. He probably knew after the win against Hamilton that he was going to be the guy against Toronto. Obviously, they don't have to announce it. They don't really have to announce it until the position chart comes out. So you're giving a guy extra prep against a team that's playing on a short week to see what your young quarterback has. Realistically, I think it's a brilliant move. And like you said, the 6-game, I think people are still so used to hearing the 6-game and thinking, oh my God, it's over. The season's over.
This isn't the old 9-game list where you could only, I think, pull like one guy off a year. And otherwise, if they were on the 9-game, they had to sit all 9.
Yeah, 100%. Yeah. So it's a shrewd move. I like that Corey May stuck to his guns, and we're not seeing Cody Fajardo 2.0. And who knows? Let's see what Shea Patterson's got. Like I said, he's got extra prep. Toronto played last week. He's playing at home in the friendly confines, so let's see it.
Yeah, and this is obviously the chance to see it. This is what he was kept around for. This is what won him the job over Mason Fine. Was in this sort of situation, he looked better and looked like the guy who gave them a better chance to win football games. And, the performance against Hamilton coming off the bench wasn't promising.
No.
To say the least.
It wasn't good.
No, but, I will say the only downfall to picking Shea Patterson over Mason Fine is Shea Patterson's game is very different than Trevor Harris's. Mason Fine would have maybe reflected Trevor Harris's game a little bit more and may have been a little bit better of a pinch hitter in that sort of situation. But now with the time to actually develop more of a game plan towards Shea Patterson's strengths from Mark Mueller, you would assume, you'll see something different. Obviously, the Toronto defense is going to play a factor in that, as they are a very good unit.
Yep.
And this is going to be a hell of a test. The lights are on, and we'll know very soon whether Shea Patterson is up for it or not.
Certainly. And we've been big Shea Patterson guys here on this pod, so I am definitely watching. I'm definitely curious to watch this game. I want to see how Patterson does. And you could be listening after Patterson has either exploded onto the scene or completely shat his pantaloons.
Yes. I feel like it's probably going to be one or the other.
Yeah, I don't feel like there's just like a 250, 2 touchdown, 2 interception game here. I feel like it's either going to be like 2 touchdowns throwing, 2 rushing, or like Zach Collaros numbers.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I went there.
You did. We have lots of places to go on this episode still, as it is, of course, Ask John Anything. We will get to that and a whole bunch more in a minute. But first, John, for the Pile of Bones Brewing Company, this is what we call fulfilling the tease. What is in the glass this week?
Well, first off, I've already finished a very large gin that I actually poured last night and fell asleep to. But especially in the glass this week, freshly imported from Lake of the Woods Brewing Company in Kenora, Ontario. Lake of the Woods Forgotten Lake Blueberry Ale. My in-laws took a road trip out to Thunder Bay. That's where my mother-in-law is originally from, and I asked them to swing by Lake of the Woods and come back with some Forgotten Lake and some Nautical Disaster. Again, Nautical Disaster is on the Mount Rushmore of IPAs that we discussed last week, but Blueberry Ale from Forgotten Lake Blueberry Ale. Holy crap, that gin just hit me in a second there. This will be good. Great summer beer, somehow does not taste 7.1%, which makes it dangerous. Mm-hmm. It's so good.
For me, I guess sort of inspired by you, also inspired by the fact that I'm a little low on beer right now and haven't gone to get more.
You work at a liquor store.
But I'm on parental leave right now.
Oh, right. I forgot you're still not back at work. I'm like, what do you mean you haven't gone to get some? You go there every day.
No, it's been a while since I've been there, and it'll still be a while until I'm there.
That's fair.
Had some Lucky Bastard Saskatoon Berry iced teas in the fridge, so enjoying one of those on this sort of cloudy, sort of half stormy, weird night.
It is hot AF in Saskatoon. The kids are in the pool actually right now, so yeah, it's perfect for a Stooner or a Forgotten Lake Blueberry Ale, and my goodness, does that taste good. We're ready to go.
We are always ready to go, are we not?
Basically, like that's why there's legitimate concerns that the Stadneck starts at like 8:30 in the morning, because I'm always up for a beer basically whenever I see you.
Yes, well, the good news is you're driving down that morning, so
I
assume we'll just probably. Well, I mean, I'll probably just bring a coffee from home. I don't know what you're gonna do, but.
I don't want to pull over too many times, so I don't know. Maybe some sort of energy drink, but by the time I get there and get a nice little warm up in at the range, I'll be ready for a beer because I'll have been awake for 3 hours, and basically that's like the whole day.
Okay, I suppose.
I do have to drive the 45 minutes from the course we're at to your house, though, so I will be cognizant of that.
Mm-hmm. Also, we'll start here for Ask John Anything. On sort of a bit of a throwback to last week.
Okay.
This is, of course, from a friend of the show, Jacques Cartier, who's got a few on the card tonight.
Oh, I love it.
As usual. So what is Fraser's favorite foreign film genre on the hub? If you caught the end of last week's episode, you'll understand this. I am not going back to explain.
My favorite kind of foreign film is locally produced. You know, it's not all hair and makeup and plastic surgery. It's got an authentic vibe to it. Like the kind of thing you can see yourself in, maybe your partner as well. Not that I've ever done that in my life, but I'm just saying it kind of gives off that vibe. I like authenticity in my foreign films when I do need to watch foreign films and get in a sweeping workout. Mm-hmm. So there you go. It is amateur. And my goodness, is there a lot of it these days? It is the golden era. If you like homemade foreign films on the hub.
Mm-hmm.
So I am so sorry, Grammy.
You did your best to dance around how you actually answered that question. I was a little worried about asking it, to be honest. I was like, where are we going to go? How's John going to go around this without being too obvious.
Well, and the worst thing is I'm sitting there and I'm like, I want to make it clear kind of what we were talking about because I don't want to answer questions from either my mother or my grandmother or other 6 listeners on what I'm talking about. Mm-hmm. But I think I've got the point across.
Indeed. Next, it's from Bryce.
Oh, shit, yeah.
You didn't see this one because he texted me.
No, because I texted Bryce that I wanted vodka because somehow my gin survived the weekend.
Yeah.
A long weekend I was off, so I texted. I said, "Hey, by the way, it's Ask John Anything, so make sure you text Joel something good."
Okay. Yeah, he apparently asked for what I wanted as well, and I didn't see that. I just saw the question.
That really is the priority.
Absolutely. So his question: you're in the locker room shower after those tough workouts we all know you do. I don't know what that's supposed to mean, but sure. This probably applies to any sort of this situation anyway. What is your go-to shower song to sing? And please provide us a taste with your best karaoke.
Oh, okay. I know it's from Rocky. I forget. Goodness. 1 second. I'm actually stealing this from my brother-in-law. What is it? Yes. Burning Heart by Survivor.
Okay.
Is the way to go. I don't know if I can do it justice with singing.
Could you do any song justice with singing, quite frankly?
Chocolate Rain. Okay, Friends in Low Places is a go-to. For sure, because, I got friends in low places where the whiskey drowns and the beer chases my blues away. And I'll be okay.
Yeah.
Like, who doesn't do Friends in Low Places? The other one, actually, I was in a karaoke competition, a celebrity, heavy air quotes around celebrity, and I thought it'd be a gas to perform Tequila. But every time the word tequila came up, I did a shot of tequila. I have never been so hungover at work in my life the next day. So, Bryce, it is A Burning Heart by Survivor. It gets you jacked up for the day, ready to go, ready to kick some ass and take some names. But I will not sing it because I cannot hit the high notes like Survivor.
Why are so many dogs suffering from health issues? Actress Katherine Heigl, who's helped save over 16,000 dogs through her foundation, says she's seeing more issues with dogs' joints, odors, and health than ever before. And after doing a ton of research, she feels there's one place we can look to support any dog's health: their food. So she decided to create something she could actually feel good about feeding her dogs. It's called Superfood Complete. Superfood Complete is made with over 30 of the healthiest ingredients on the planet, including several superfoods vital to your dog's health. Badlands Ranch also sponsors the Jason Debus Heigl Foundation, which has helped rescue thousands of dogs and place them in loving homes. Dogs across America are trying this food and experiencing amazing health benefits. Go to badlandsranch.com/save50 and order right now to get up to 50% off your regular price order with a 90-day money-back guarantee. If you want your dog to experience all these incredible things, go to badlandsranch.com/save50 today.
Brace yourself for something fuel nominal. Unleaded 88 is the clear fuel choice. It's cheaper, cleaner, and greener. And it's grown by Iowa corn farmers. Now that's totally worth the hype. So pump it up with Unleaded 88.
At your job, do you ever have to deal with a nose roller? How about a snub pulley? Well, if you're installing a new conveyor belt system, dealing with the different components can sound like you're speaking a foreign language. Luckily, you've got a team ready to help. Grainger's technical product specialists are fluent in maintenance, repair, and operations. So whenever you want to talk shop, just reach out. Call, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
I'm sorry, Bryce. Tell you what, Bryce, we'll get together for beers. I'll play it on the phone, so I have the backing track, and I'll bust it out just for you.
Yeah, if we played this song on this, I'm sure some copyright thing would catch on, and then we'd be in trouble. So.
Well, I don't think any copyright's catching on that performance of Friends in Low Places. That's the other thing I was thinking about. Is I was going to play it, then I'm like, wait, no. Then the episode doesn't come out, and I got unnecessarily Wednesday drunk for no need.
Oh, what a shame.
Yes. Oh no, I had a bunch of beers I really like. Terrible.
All right. From friend of the show, Ferlin.
Okay.
How do you move an immovable object?
Oh, okay. So this you need some quantum physics for. Anything can be moved by the absolute total pull of a black hole. So what you need to do is you need to create like the large collider thingy they have in Switzerland, but you need to do it right behind the immovable object and create a black hole, because nothing escapes a black hole, which would essentially shoot it into the black hole, making it movable, if not just displacing the very matter that it is and the data that it has to wherever a black hole goes. So technically, you would be moving it through space and time, as an immovable object would be affected by the pull of a black hole through a singularity. That's how you do it. Pocket black holes.
All right. Or as Dave suggested, Subway lettuce.
Oh no! That's oh boy, yeah, that just makes things explode.
You may need the pocket black hole after you're done with the Subway lettuce.
Yeah, if you're in the wrong spot, like that is if it's an emergency situation, like the CN Curling Club, you definitely need the pocket black hole. I was suddenly reminded of the Star Trek reboot where they started a black hole inside a planet. So that was a thing, and that has inspired that answer, and I didn't even realize that it did so. So, pocket black holes, Star Trek, let's go.
Another one from Jacques. How would you cast yourself, me, and your 7 listeners as characters in the League?
League, one of my favorite shows of all time. Watch it every year around fantasy football season. So I did put some thinking into this one. I did not write it in my notes, so I'm kind of pulling shit out of my ass here, okay? So I'd like to think I'm like the cool guy, like Pete. Everybody wants to be Pete. He's the cool guy, you know, he's with all the good-looking women and stuff. But no, I'm Kevin. I'm a little neurotic. I'm well aware of my own age. I have children, and I'm commissioner of my league. So I'm definitely Kevin. Joel, you are Jenny, Kevin's wife. Not only because I don't think I could ever do this without you. Secondly, Jenny is better at fantasy football than Kevin, and I feel like if you cared about fantasy football, you would be better than me at it. You just have that vibe to you. So you are my Jenny, Joel. Jacques, you are like Taco. You are a man of mystery. You appear, you make funny comments, and yet you're oddly insightful when you need to be. So you're definitely Taco. I don't know, Jacques, if you smoke a lot of weed, but if you did, you're definitely Taco. Dave, only because it's funny, I'm going to call you Rafi. You are not a deviant. You are not a man that is a awful person. You're definitely not a sex addict. But I do feel like you would be the kind of guy that would carry a hot dog in your pocket. A pocket dog, if you will. In fact, they might check our golf bags for pocket hot dogs at the Stadneck. So that is definitely it. I don't know. I'm trying to think of anybody that's cool enough to be Pete. I can't think of any of our 7 listeners that are definitely single and definitely getting with supermodels all the time. So the role of Pete shall remain uncasted until a later date. But yeah, no, you're my Jenny. Joel, you're my Jenny.
What about Grandma? Who's Grandma?
Nobody on the list. Grammy's way too wholesome to be anybody on that damn show. And like Kevin, I've noticed that some of my pubes are turning gray. That was actually a theme of an episode, so that's not just me being extra gross. That is actually an episode of the League.
Since you brought it up, in a way, a little bit, from Dave, how upset would John be if there was a Stadnick Invitational trophy named after him and he didn't win it?
Well, I want to know what the trophy would be, though, because according to AI and talking to most of the golfers in this thing, I am like the odds-on favorite by like 20 strokes. And especially with me not going to the driving range and shooting 300 balls the day before.
And the defending champion being scared.
Yeah, well, yes, of course. That's the biggest thing is Mark Johnson is a far better golfer than I am. And based on everybody else's scores, even like the computer brain that's going to kill us all one day thinks I'm the betting favorite. And I am, in fairness, swinging it much better than I ever have in a lot of years. So I feel like, though, like, I don't know what would you name a trophy after me for? Because that's where I struggle. What is the trophy name for? Because obviously, I'm ideally in contention for the actual golf trophy thing, but I don't even know what would you name. Like, it's not like it's a big drinking event, because normally the most beers drank would be synonymous with me in any kind of event, right? And then, yes, I would be pissed to not win that. But being as we golf at 8:30 in the morning, and it's generally kind of just a good time at a fundraiser, I don't know what the hell else you'd name a trophy after me for.
My only other thought would be like best dressed.
Oh, yeah.
You'd probably be mad if you didn't win that, because I know what plans you have, so you'd probably be mad about that.
No, you are correct. I actually would be pissed if there was a John Fraser Best Dressed Award and I did not win it, because my outfit this year is outstanding and I cannot wait to show you all. So good pick, Gasson. I would be disappointed if I didn't win the John Fraser Best Dressed Award.
Mm-hmm. So I don't know. Maybe there is something in mind. Maybe, I mean, our listeners are far smarter than I am, so maybe Dave already has an idea for what it is, and it may be even better. Who knows?
That's fair. Or most spreadsheets broken.
Most spreadsheets broken. Most complaining. I don't know.
Listen.
Most complaining about his own mistake he made the day before. I don't know. Yeah.
That's fair. But at least I hit a point, and I think the only reason I still shot well was the fact that I realized my hands were blistered. I was self-aware about what I did to myself. My arms were sore from all the balls I hit. And my self-awareness is what kept my score to be still respectable and finish second place, because if I would have got upset at myself, it would have been game over. Instead, it was like, yeah, my hands are bleeding everywhere. I need 2 gloves and a whole bunch of bandages.
Okay, so the onside punt, a.k.a. the dribble kick, was once again successfully used by Montreal recently, which again started the debate on whether or not this play is Bush League or a stain upon the CFL. Based on the amount of times it has successfully been used, and the rarity in which any team that has attempted it minus Jason Miles led the Alouettes. Plus, in taking into consideration the history and tradition of the rules, like the Rouge and No Yards, that Canadian football has embraced as their unique stamp on the gridiron game, this listener's question is this: will you acknowledge Solo Sikoa as your tribal chief?
Is that Greg?
Yeah. I had a feeling as soon as I was still rambling, you would know it was him.
That's fair. And I was up in the air until you worked in the wrestling reference. No, he's not my tribal chief. Powerbomb me through a table, and I will not sleep and not dye my hair. By the way, Paul Heyman, what a like that man genuinely looks like he has not slept in a week since getting powerbombed through an announce table. He is not my tribal chief. Roman Reigns is still my tribal chief. And as the Cody Rhodes era is getting kind of boring, I really want Roman to come back. And I'm floored I'm saying that, because he had the most boring title reign of like anybody in WWF history.
Well, the problem was they dragged it out too long, and he just disappeared for, however long with the title in hand, right? So
right.
If he didn't have the title, I really wouldn't care if he comes and goes, and it's great when he's good.
He's very good. Yeah. Like his moveset's a little limited, but I like Roman coming back and actually wrestling rather than just like The Rock showing up and just like.
Well, it's remarkable that Roman Reigns turning face without him being there, and Paul Heyman's basically doing all the work for it.
Which absolutely right. Like, you're gonna have Roman Reigns once he's healthy again, and he's turned face. You got CM Punk there that I think is going to be the next big heel. And yeah, we're grown-ass men that still pay attention to wrestling. Deal with it. I, for one, am most ecstatic for the fact it's going to be on Netflix next year, and I can just watch with the boys. And that's my excuse for watching it. Wrestling's cool. I can't wait. And as an aside, if you ever get a chance, and I say this to all of our 7 listeners, go to your local pro wrestling event. It is so fun. It's an absolute electric factory. Usually there's reasonably priced beers. It is awesome. They're always in like small clubs or curling rinks, and the atmosphere's electric. And these guys like putting their body. It's so freaking cool. So go out if you can. Wrestling's awesome. Let's all not pretend. Let's stop pretending it's not. Like, I think we as a society are past the point where, you have to look cool. Oh my God, you have to be the coolest guy ever. Wrestling's fucking awesome. It's great. It's like soap opera for men and women. The athleticism's bananas lands. Embrace it. Enjoy it. You don't need excuses. Fine for my sister. Don't yuck somebody's yum.
Mm-hmm.
Let people vibe. Unless they think Zach Collaros is as good as his height. Fuck you.
We're gonna take a step back now. Everything's gonna be okay. From Thomas.
Oh, I like this one.
Rename each CFL team with the food item that most represents them.
Okay, I wanted to go after what the teams are, right? Like I wanted to name a food after what a team is, but I feel like this might be better suited to do that for the offseason. Ask John anything. It's too early in the season, so I'm kind of copping out, and I'm kind of going with cities here. So let's circle back to this one in the offseason after we see what each team kind of was for the year. But first off, the Vancouver Salmon. Let's call them that. So when you think of BC, what's the first thing you think of? Money, and then weed.
Mm-hmm.
But you can't call them the Vancouver. It's too fucking expensive to live here. That's too much of a mouthful. And you can't call them the Vancouver weed. I mean, maybe you could, but hard.
I don't think we're quite there yet, no.
Right. The Vancouver Salmon. Salmon's tasty. It's delicious. It's awesome. Okay. The Edmonton Donairs. I know Halifax lays claim to being the donair capital of Canada, but my God, Edmonton has the market cornered out west. And I'll never forget, and again, drunk food aside, first time I tried an Edmonton Donair, as with two of my best friends from high school, stumbling home from a night at Diamonds where we spent all of our money on lap dances and didn't actually have any money for cab fare. So we had to walk about 3 kilometers past the Donair stop, and we had enough money for Donairs. So we got back to my buddy's place, covered in Donair sauce. It was awesome. One of those core memories, if you will. Calgary barbecue. I mean, come on. 2 and 2 goes together. Have you ever had some barbecue down in Calgary, Joel?
Only at Big T's across from McMahon.
Okay, there's now like 3 different places that are like smoke shops and whiskey shops. Just incredible. So Calgary barbecue, quickly making a name for itself. I think the Riders would become the Saskatchewan beer. I mean, it's why our podcast exists. It's not because of football, but it's because of beer. You've got so many great breweries here in the province, right? You've got Nokomis, you got POB that sponsors this show, you got Rebellion, you've got all these great local breweries, and they make the grain here, and the barley, and the hops. Yeah, really the place to be. So it's the Saskatchewan beer. Winnipeg, they have become the fried chicken. I don't know if anybody listening has ever traveled through Manitoba or Winnipeg specifically, but it's like every tiny town, like you'll pass a town that has 12 people, they will have both a Chicken Delight and a Chicken Chef. Like the number of Chicken Delights and Chicken Chefs in Manitoba and Winnipeg is off the chain, if you will. There's a lot of them, and I'm not going to lie. I'm a fat kid that knows his fried chicken. It's probably in my top 3. Ottawa Beaver Tails, that's simple, right? Ottawa Beaver Tails, it's either that or the frozen maple syrup and snow.
Shawarma's really big there too.
Yeah, we already got the Donairs in Edmonton though. Yeah. They're kind of the same thing.
No.
Whoa.
They're not the same thing, but anyway, go on.
I mean, kind of a little bit, but anyways, it's either that or frozen maple syrup in the snow. And again, too big of a mouthful. Montreal smoked meat. I know you're going to think poutine. It's the smoked meat. It's just better.
I'm fine with that. I think. Yeah, poutine's like general Quebec, Montreal. You can specifically say smoked meat there. So yeah.
Oh, 100%. The Hamilton coffee cups. Did you know? Fun fact: there are 4 Tim Hortons within 600 meters of their stadium. Plus, I've watched Peter Dykowski crush Timbits in an eat-off with Travis Curra of the 2 and Out CFL podcast. And then finally, for Toronto, you're the Toronto Snobs. There's lots of great food in Toronto, but it's like, oh my God, you have to try out Frankie's on 8th. You have to eat in complete darkness, and you have to sit on a bench, and then they shovel it into your mouth while you put your hands on your nipples. That's Toronto gives me that kind of vibe. I feel like that could be a restaurant that actually exists in Toronto.
If you're a facilities manager at a warehouse and your HVAC system goes down, it can turn up the heat, literally. But don't sweat it, Grainger has you covered. Grainger offers over 1 million industrial-grade products for all your operations, including warehouse HVAC maintenance. And even better, they offer access to experts and fast delivery, so you and your warehouse can both keep your cool. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.